Hello everybody, we're Group 27 and we are debating the positive impacts of information technology on education for MSCI 442. To start out our presentation, we're going to look at the history of education and then give a general overview of how information technology is integrated into our current educational system. We'll then take a deep dive into some of the benefits of information technology as it pertains to education and provide supporting evidence in the form of a TED Talk by Raj Dhingra, as well as an opinion poll provided to MSCI 442 students in 2016.
Looking back at the history of education, we can clearly see a defining trend with the introduction of information technology in the educational sector. Prior to the PC, students would learn by hand, using pen and paper. However, advances in the internet allowed PCs to become mainstream, which has led to a change in learning dynamics where students now have access to worldwide learning resources. The roles information technology plays in our educational system are significant. To name a few, first, an improvement in both quality and quantity is observed with the access students get to numerous resources. Second, global communication makes a huge difference by connecting educators through various modes of communication, including but not limited to email, video chat, teleconferences, and so on. Third, with the help of information technology, accessibility barriers are no longer a limiting factor for students. IT now provides flexible and convenient learning opportunities to everyone around the world. And last but not least, the development of diverse tools brought about by advances in the internet ensures the accommodation of all types of learning behaviors.
To build upon what was previously mentioned in regards to quality and quantity of learning resources, it is indisputable that with the help of information technology, we now can collect more accurate sets of data and formulate more realistic theories. By having better simulations and models, students have the ability to test their theories and hypotheses directly from the classroom. One such advancement is in the field of computational fluid dynamics, which enables the collection of data on fluid behavior that would otherwise be expensive and sometimes even impossible to obtain. In addition, the likes of Google Drive, Dropbox, Adobe, and eBooks allow for the storage of large amounts of information with the option of sifting through for keywords at the click of a button. Let's not also forget the possibility of readily creating backups and updating document revisions. To capitalize on the wealth of knowledge around the world, educators need to have access to tools that will bring about collaboration. As the great author Anna Monar once said, sharing will enrich everyone with more knowledge. Previously, knowledge was limited to your direct local circle. However, now, with the ability to conduct global teleconferences, communicate via email, and share information on the cloud, scientists are able to feed off each other's research, make real-time changes, and connect with people and communities they never thought they'd be in touch with. As a result, our knowledge base grows at an exponential rate, and this directly benefits students and educators around the world. By far, the biggest impact information technology has had on our educational system is accessibility and reaching out to absolutely everyone from all corners of the world. Online classes, open courseware, and open source software provides educational resources for minority groups and students in remote locations. A prime example of a beneficiary is a woman who is prohibited from pursuing education due to culture and traditions. With information technology, she now has the same access as individuals in the most developed countries around the world. A similar story could be said about refugees. Although they may not have a permanent place of residence at the current time, they still can find self-fulfillment by learning through online courses. This segues into e-learning and online degrees, which are extremely convenient tools that reduce the overwhelming tuition costs and allow students to learn from the comfort of their home. Finally, information technology has allowed the emergence of unprecedented educational tools, such as the use of multimedia in the form of PowerPoint presentation, informational modules, and training seminars. Moreover, the development of virtual manipulative and epistemic games gives students the unique opportunity of acquiring practical skills that are otherwise difficult to attain in a classroom setting. The games can be dynamically altered to match the user's learning behavior. For example, GenLab is a company based in France that specializes in developing epistemic games with the aim of simulating real-world situations. Managing finances and trying out careers in a fully controlled environment are typical scenarios students can find themselves into. The feedback received from these games helps improve students' professional skills, work ethic, and overall moral values.
To further support our case, Raj Dhingra, a business graduate from Stanford, the CEO of CloudVelox, and the former CEO of N Computing, discusses the positive impacts information technology has on education.
And I have this story from this small school district in Moraga, California. There's 3 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and Moraga School District worked with their budget. They didn't have a lot of it. They worked with their budget, and they looked for low-cost computing technologies. And they were able to get them deployed so you could create a one-to-one learning environment. In that learning environment, both teachers and students work together. And in my opinion, blended learning is where you get the best of both teachers and technology. And just look at these images. We've got children doing customized learning. They can actually learn what they want to learn. They can learn at their own pace. You can see much better collaboration between kids. You can also see a much higher engagement. And certainly, I think kids today are much more tuned into using technology. So by using technology, you can transform the learning in the classroom, especially when you go for one-to-one.
With the previously discussed positive impacts in mind, let's take a look at what some university students have to say about information technology in their education system. As part of MSCI 442, students responded to a survey asking them different questions about the impact of information technology on their education. One of the questions asked, what type of learning environment do you generally prefer? As it can be seen from the graph, 33% of students said they prefer seminars and smaller classes with some online components, and another 20% said they prefer larger classes with some online components. On top of this, an additional 23% said they prefer classes that give them the option to use as many or as few online resources as they'd like. Looking at the bigger picture, it can be concluded that over 60% of students prefer classes with some online components. Another question in the survey asked students to rate the extent to which they agree to certain statements. A rating of 5 means that the student strongly agrees with the statement, and a rating of 1 means that they strongly disagree. As it can be seen in the figure, the statement involving technology makes it easier to get help when I need it, rated 4.13. In addition, the statement that technology allows me to produce higher quality work, rated 4.08. This further ties into the aforementioned idea that information technology enables students to access higher quality work, and is also another indication that students prefer technology integration in their education. Finally, we'd like to recap some of the points we've brought up with you today. Information technology plays a positive role in education because it equips students with more and better quality resources of information. It allows educators to communicate and collaborate with others readily. It grants individuals the ability to access educational information from anywhere in the world at any time of day. And finally, it provides students with a vast range of learning tools to match all learning styles. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation, and I hope you'll include information technology in your education in the future.